Me, so here we go, folks. I got the heave-ho from my sister. I hadn't spoken to her in a while, because really, there's nothing to talk about. I'm all about the ascension and the storm, and she absolutely refuses to hear anything about it. She won't hear it. I have tried to understand what's going on with her that she won't open her mind to the changes going down now on Earth, and I really think that it's got something to do with being squeezed into a mind-controlled cage so small that it doesn't allow for anything new to come in. My sister is 65, folks, and she's retirement age, being paid $2,000 a month by the government, which is probably the most she's earned in at least the last 10 years, has just lost her partner. So I think she's in a phase of her life, the retirement phase, where change is very unwelcome for many. Not me, I retired, technically, in my 40s and in my 50s, set about doing my life's work. Tired as I am, I'm at it most days, looking for information or channeling information myself, to incorporate into a new idea of what life on Earth is changing to become. I believe that's because I have an alien mind. My sister is an earthling, and has been conditioned to living in the Matrix many lifetimes over already. Arguably, we're working at cross purposes. Her goal is to get better at being a caged-in cog in the system. Mine is to create a new system that actually resonates with the human consciousness at its most powerful. If you're having trouble understanding your parents' or your grandparents' stubbornness to grasp this stuff, this could be why, I figure. A lifetime of indoctrination, after many other lifetimes of being indoctrinated before this one. Imagine having to live a whole lifetime by certain principles and someone comes along, your sister no less, and says, it's all a lie. I try to have compassion for her, but who I really fear for are the grandchildren who are not of legal age to decide for themselves whether they want to get the jab or not. It's the parents of these children, who would be my nieces and nephews, who decide whether they get vaxxed. We all know there's a lot riding on whether you get it or not. Either your ability to bear children will be compromised or you'll just die of it. What haunts me is Al Bielik's trip to the future. Al Bielik was aboard the ship that the Philadelphia experiment, the Montauk Project, was conducted on, and Al went to a future Earth where he observed that it was by far less populated than it was even at his time, and this was in the 1940s. He never said what happened to the people of Earth, but now with us staring mass genocide in the face, you can venture a guess. The irony of it is, for people like my sister, in continuing to believe in the Matrix, they continue to live in the structure that had them scared out of their wits in the first place. They continue to live in a fear-based structure of economic exploitation. What I'm not so understanding of is their willingness to go forward in a system that encompasses poverty for many, maybe not themselves but for others on the planet, destruction of the ecosystem, wars, homelessness, sickness, cancer, hatred, inequality, financial oppression, violence, confusion, unhappiness for many. So all of that is okay? Because all of that and more, is what they're putting their stamp of approval on. I learned one big lesson when I was younger. When something didn't work for me, I used to try harder at it. I figured I was a failure, so if I just tried harder, then one day I would succeed. Maybe creating something unique that works for you is the way to go, rather than trying to fit into a system that's not what you're about. Many starseeds and light workers are part of the system to be created, not part of the system that's been. Because the system is draconian. If you're a draconian starseed, then you might do well at it. I really think there's more chance of reaching younger people. I speak to people in their 30s and they listen. Most 60-year-olds are entirely convinced they've made the right choices in life, even though many of those 60-year-olds were hippies who seemed to be onto something back then. I can only guess what happened in the interim to their minds that would make them so different from who they were as teenagers. I had to be shown that the old system doesn't work for me. And I believe it. I had to be shown what to do instead of investing my time in a system that's about to crash. Ivo, so, my love, now you are being shown another lesson, another hard lesson for you to understand, and that is that your sister is not your family. You have relations closer to you than she, and the one that is closest to you is me. I am your mirror. Me, you sure are, lol. You mirror a lot of things back to me that I don't like about myself. Ivo, and you deal with them well. The task of the one who is to return to their previous lifetime in the galaxy is to release all that holds them down here on Earth, and in your case, an attachment to a sister who only has herself in mind is a toxic attachment indeed. She fears for herself daily. Me, I can relate to that too, though. Ivo, that is not the commonality you are to enjoy with a human in days to come. You are the one, as you said in the video of yesterday, who decreed what you would learn and who would teach you in this lifetime on Earth, and your sister is there to teach you that she is not truly your sister. Her love for you is conditional, and it is controlling. Yes, she journeyed with you in this lifetime on Earth, but you will not reincarnate with her nor anyone else from your earthly family. You are to be back with us. To do so, you must cut your bonds with your earthly families. Your sister does not accept you as you are, and will not listen to what you say because she fears your truth. She is afraid of what you have become. Me, well, I guess everyone has limits. Ivo, and you have broached hers. Many of you are doing so with your earthly connections. Yes, the timelines are splitting out. People are choosing to remain in the mindset they are most comfortable with. Some are comfortable with change and desire to see positive change made upon this planet. Others are too fearful to change anything about their lives, and anyone who threatens that change is let go of or argued with to assume control. Sheran is experiencing this now. Me, folks, I know you guys are going through this with your families and friends, and this is why we're putting this up here, so you know that you're not alone. I don't think some people will be able to change. Don't try to control them, don't try to tell them what to believe. They have to see it for themselves, if they're even going to. Ivo, the best way to deal with them is to try to understand their limits and allow them to make their own choices. Earth had become a very materialistic planet for many eons before even Atlantis. The trouble with living in a physical body is that some become so engrossed in what it can do that they forget what the non-physical, the spirit, can do. And they forget the connection, becoming mired in all the trappings of life on Earth. Earth was once a place with many riches, which is what attracted the exploiters you have on your planet now, and the Earthlings became overwhelmed with what they saw before them. Yes, gold, silver, many metals, gemstones and precious rocks. A more abundant floral life, and even more animals than you have now, so many species have gone extinct. In their increasing desire to control and to manipulate their physical circumstances, Earthlings became materialistic, and with the overtake of the dark system, consumerism began. Me, oh, I get it. You're saying that some on the planet haven't evolved past this point. Ivo, correct, my love. Some are not capable of further evolution. Not yet. They have lived within a devolved system of materialism for eons and have adjusted their frequency to it. They cannot simply jump up to embrace ideas of spirituality to the extent that you can. That is why the star seeds were asked to come to Earth, because they can raise the light on the planet to a more spiritual level because they hold those frequencies already. Many Earthlings do not. Someone such as your father, who, as you suspect, is a vegan starseed who became trapped in the Earth frequencies for eons, is more capable of embracing the new spiritual paradigm. Your Earthling sister is not as evolved, so she cannot do this. Me, what about my mother? LOL. Ivo, smiling, yes, she is at the starting gate. She will reincarnate upon another third-dimensional world and continue her personal evolution. Me, so that's a good lesson for anyone out there trying to convince other people to embrace our way of thinking. They can't do it. They have to make too big a jump in frequency in order to embrace our ideas and ways of life. That's why they don't get it, folks. If they can change, if they're teachable, it's because it's the next step up for them. If they don't get it, won't hear of it, can't understand it, It's because their frequency is too low and they have to learn a lot more interim lessons in order to understand this. Or like someone just said I think today in a video, they're too simple. Ivo, now, the only focus one should have in the material world is to keep it in balance. You are learning that now. Sheran watches beach cleanup videos and odd contraption videos that clean up plastics in the oceans. These videos attract her because she seeks homeostasis individually but wants to balance the earth collectively. So these videos are appealing to her. Black Sabbath, Deep Purple and the Quarantine Kids take a backseat to her higher yearnings from time to time. Me, LOL yes, Cold Clark and the Quarantine Kids. I watch them produce oldies all the time. I like to see this father teach his children how to play instruments. Then I realize how easy it is to do. If kids can play it, then how easy was it for the adults who produced these hits? I still think they're talented, though. Ivo, however, you see my point, do you not? Me, yes. New system of balance and light versus old system videos of heroin addiction, loud music, and raccoon's behavior. Ivo, you must look at your choices and understand the themes being expressed in what you are attracted to. Seeking balance is your soul's choice. Imbalance and Jimmy Page's guitar are your personality's choice. They tell you something about yourself and what your soul is teaching you. Me, I get it. Ivo, you view zero waste videos and this too, is about balance. Me, it's about a lot of work, too. Or maybe that was just the way the video was presenting it, the whole family was working in the kitchen to put a meal together. Too much work. But I get the point. Reuse your containers and don't throw them out. I do that already. But I still buy stuff in containers, which is not zero waste. I have dispensed with most single-use plastics. The only one I can think of is the dishwashing liquid and dishwasher pods, oh yeah, shampoo bottles, even though they're herbal. Yeah, I could work on that. Ivo, you like videos of people who create sustainability in their gardens, who recycle and reuse. Me, I don't like the many homes people are creating because I don't think that people should have to do with less. Larger homes should be made affordable for all, then they can choose if they want to live in a train car for the rest of their lives. They're doing this because they don't have any options, and that's what I think is wrong. As for the environment, yes, that's the only answer. There is no multiple choice quiz. There's one answer, yes. Keep it in balance. When the environment is in balance, we're more likely to be as well. Because we're part of the environment. Ultimately, I try to find time off my electronics anyway. It's made so you can spend all day on here, but do you really want to? Ivo, this is correct, my love. You must question everything. Me, thank you Ivo. Ivo, my love, your world will change. It will take some time but all damage will be reversed. Those of lower consciousness will move to other planets where they will learn what they need to change to a more spiritual mindset. All is love. All is light. Light is learning.